Yet, we also understand that Krishna can be conquered by the loving devotion of his devotees, like that. So, there's this, just because it's saying here, talking here about how wonderful Vrindavan is and how beautiful it is, that one time, one of Krishna's devotees, one of the gopis, her name was Viraj, she had done something really wonderful that had really attracted Krishna's attention, and Krishna had was associating with her like that. And of course Radharani noticed that, well, where's Krishna gone? Where's Krishna? And she wanted to get Krishna back. So, and this is an amazing story, because actually another thing is, we understand that Krishna is ultimately responsible for the creation of everything, all the material and spiritual worlds, as we just said, Aham Savasha Prabhu. But, will I say that now? No, let me go on with the story actually, and I'll come back to that. So Radharani was thinking, how will I get Krishna? How will I get Krishna back? How will I get his attention? So she decided that she would create a beautiful place, beautiful garden, if you like, and just a beautiful area. And she took a place between the Yamuna and the Ganga, and the Ganges like that, and along with her helpers, etc., and all the different, she created this beautiful place, absolutely, just as we're reading there, just the descriptions of Vrindavan, created this absolutely amazing place. And then when she created it, when it was finished, it was described as anyway, just all these beautiful flowers, the parijata and the malati, malika, beautiful fragrances, loads of bees, and the bees were just chanting Krishna's glories all the time. The place was ever springtime. It was always just beautiful, in full bloom, and all of that kind of thing. And then she played a very melodious tune on the flute to attract Krishna. Krishna was attracted, and he came. Of course, prior to that, when she had gone looking for Krishna, he ran away from her, and actually the Viraj turned into the river Viraj. But then when he played the flute, this beautiful tune, Krishna immediately became attracted. He came to this place. And as I say, it was between the Ganga and the Yamuna, and that kind of was like, defined it and protected it. And when Krishna came, it was just such a beautiful place. He says, oh, this is an amazing place. We'll call this Nava Vrindavan, New Vrindavan. But whatever way it had been constructed, it was also cut into or subdivided into 9 islands. So he said he would also call it Navadweep, 9 islands. So this was Mayapur manifesting like that, and it's described how Vrindavan and Navadweep are non-different. Vrindavan and Mayapur are non-different. Yes, and that was I was going to say, that Krishna is the creator of everything. He creates absolutely everything. But it's described how this is the one place that Krishna did not create. It was created by Radharani, not by Krishna. And that just added to its beauty. So the beauty that you have there in Vrindavan, and the beauty of this new Vrindavan. So the spiritual life and the spiritual world, and here we read in the first 2 paragraphs that I read, we read, there were chirping birds and clear water lakes with waters that could relieve one of all fatigue. We read those descriptions also in Bhagavatam, how by just Narada Muni, just drinking water, how it is completely revived and refreshed and needs nothing else. But Prabhupada explains in this pastime, the advent of Lord Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam, explains that the ultimate relief of fatigue is actually Krishna Katha, discussions on the subject matter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. That only by Krishna Katha, by either hearing about Krishna or chanting Krishna's glories, can we be relieved of the contamination of the material world and the contamination of Kali Yuga. Also, it's described how Maharaj Parikshit was relieved when he was hearing Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami, how he was relieved of all fatigue for those 7 days. It didn't enter into his psyche at all, that he was thirsty or hungry like that. Whereas previous to that, when he of course entered the ashram of Sanaka Muni, and he wanted some water like that, and the Muni was in his meditation, so he basically didn't give it, or he ignored Maharaj Parikshit. Then Maharaj Parikshit threw the the dead snake as a garland, and then he got cursed for this to happen. Now, of course, they're all pastimes. It's not that we're suggesting that Maharaj Pariksit wasn't in control, if you like, of his senses, but it's just the interesting comparison that when he was sitting on the bank of the Ganges, hearing Krishna Gatha from Sukadeva Goswami, fatigue and hunger and thirst just was not present there. So this is the what I speak of hunger and thirst, all the other complications that come with being in the spiritual world, or is described as bhava roga, which means the cycle of birth and death, like that, just that cycle of birth and death that keeps on coming. It's interesting. Prabhupada explains how Krishna, being the supreme powerful, that's who Krishna is, he's the supreme powerful, and any power that we have comes from Krishna, like that. So whatever energy, power, whatever we have is ultimately coming from Krishna. So Prabhupada explains how that's why the devotees, they worship Krishna as the supreme powerful, and they're worshipping Krishna. Whereas the non-devotees, they worship Maya, or the material energy, because of its power. And they're wanting that power, and they're wanting to be powerful, but without recognizing the person who this power is coming from. So it's just interesting that devotees will worship Krishna as the supreme powerful, but the non-devotees will worship Maya in her aspect of being very powerful personality, like that, the material energy. And there's another nice story actually in relation to that, and also connected to Mayapur, actually, also connected to Navadvip. That one time, another manifestation of Maya, if you like, or another manifestation of Maya is Durga Devi, or Parvati. And Parvati, of course, is the wife of Lord Shiva. And one time, Parvati comes and meets Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva is chanting. He's chanting actually the name of Gauranga, which is of course another name for Krishna. And he's chanting it, and he's in just such ecstasy when he's actually chanting this name. He's just completely, totally out of this world, just absorbed in the ecstasy that he's getting from chanting this name. And Parvati can see that. She can see, and she's never seen Lord Shiva like this before. So she inquires from him, what is this name Gauranga, and how is this making you so ecstatic and so happy like that? Of course, it took her a while to get his attention. I'm not sure exactly how she did that, but she had to work to get his attention when he was chanting out like that. But eventually she did. She got his attention. And he explained to her that Lord Gauranga, an incarnation of Krishna, the most munificent incarnation of Krishna, the most, the one giving the most benedictions, like that. It's described that Lord Chaitanya or Gauranga, Lord Gauranga, when he comes, that you don't have to do anything to actually earn all the benefits of devotional service. There's no real process that you have to go through, and nothing that you have to do as such. You literally just have to chant the name of Krishna or the name of Gauranga, and it will come. So he explained this to her, and he explained that not only is there no prelude or no preliminary requirements or no preliminary qualifications, the amazing thing is that when you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when you chant the name of Gauranga, you get more benefit and more benedictions than you get from any other process of spiritual life like that. So she wanted to go and then get the association of Gauranga, or Lord Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And she went to Navadvip. That's where she went, and she started meditating on the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga. And when she meditated on his lotus feet, eventually he appeared before her. And her concern was, and this was the concern or the doubt that she wanted removed, she explained that she can see the ecstasy that her husband was experiencing by chanting these names. But in her form as Maya Devi, she has this specific service. And the specific service she has, actually the specific service that she has as Maya Devi, really when you sort of crystallize it right down and get to the very essence of Maya's service to Krishna, her service is to keep the spiritual world pure, to keep it completely 100% pure. And the way that she does that is by ensuring that the living entities in the material world, all of us, that we cannot go to the spiritual world until we're completely pure.